Hello, everyone. My name's Dean. Let's talk crypto. This is where you subscribe for daily Bitcoin updates and technical analysis. We track the price of Bitcoin as a proxy for the cryptocurrency markets at large. Today is October 21st, 2022. And the question is, was that it? Okay? Are we finally in impulsive price action? Can we finally expect big moves to the upside? Okay, that's what we're going to try to answer today by looking at Bitcoin's price action in altcoins. We're going to also look at the DXY as usual, and we're going to have a look at the SPX. If that interests you, then keep watching, keep listening. Hope you're having a great Friday. It's a nice and sunny day here in the DC metro area. All right, let's get into it. As per usual, what we're going to do is we're going to start off with the DXY, okay? The DXY, the market mover, okay? As you can see, we've been in this range right here for 9 days, okay? This range has been the top of what I believe is a B wave, okay, before a turn down. And I thought actually that we were going to break it yesterday before the close of trading of the DXY, but alas, we had gone and made an impulsive move to the upside in this B wave right here. This is the second degree B wave from my count, and it was just, another push to the upside, and it's not too out of the ordinary given that that was a previous high right here. So you basically just traded in this range for about 10 days, okay, before breaking down what we believe this to be the breakdown, okay? So that is the question. And I've said before, when we break this channel, okay, when we decisively break this channel, that's when the big strong price action to the upside in Bitcoin and the rest of the risk on assets, the SPX, stocks, and all that stuff, that's when you're going to see that, okay? And we've gotten to this area before, but once we were at this area, obviously we consolidated and we moved back up. It's likely, from not just my count, but just in the way that we broke it, here we made a lower low, that we are going to continue. Basically what we're doing here looks like we're retesting it before breaking down, okay? And actually, I said this yesterday, okay? I said that we were likely to see a move down and through, retest, and then continue. Obviously, if it's strong support, you have to break it and retest before continuing. Just like strong resistance, you break, retest, continue. Okay, so that's what I'm seeing on the DXY on the high time frame. And obviously, our larger pattern at play is likely this ABC zigzag, or sorry, not a zigzag, a flat correction. It's clearly a flat correction because the retracement of this B wave is to at least the 786 of this 3-wave A wave, okay? So, yeah, that's what I'm seeing here. What else? Yeah, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and then this is your consolidation reversal of that top of that B wave, and then breakdown. And here's my target, my immediate target, the bottom of this channel. But I do anticipate that we break the bottom of this channel for continuation, but we may get some sort of retest here before continuing. So that's what I'm seeing. What's significant is that all of this red price action has been put in today. Yeah. So let's go on a smaller time frame. Let's go on the hourly time frame, and you can clearly see that even this morning when I woke up, we were all the way up here. Okay, we were all the way up here, and that the fact that in the past 4 hours we've put in what? Let's see. All of this downwards price action, about 2% downwards price action, is significant. It's very significant. It's showing you that okay, there is a top. Okay, just, obviously you never know that the count is 100% correct. Nothing's 100%. It's just, likelihood or probability. But our count here that this was the top of the market, and then from here you pivot and you break down. This is looking more and more likely by the day, given our price action really showing that there's strong resistance at these levels, and every single time price comes, it gets rejected. Price comes, it gets rejected. And, being more specific, the nature of this rejection is quite impulsive. It's quite straight. There's no sort of, there's no consolidation down. It's just straight dumping. Okay, and that looks to me like impulsive price action. And so, given the inverse relationship with the DXY and Bitcoin and stocks, this is what we want to see. Dumping to the downside, which we should see expressed in Bitcoin, in stocks, as a move, a strong impulsive move to the upside. Okay, now let's go on even smaller time frames to see what may be going on. Okay, we don't need this anymore. And you could just see a series of lower lows in this impulse, okay? And it's messy, but it's impulsive. So every single time you're consolidating a little bit, consolidating a little bit, consolidating a little bit, expect the trend to continue. There are no big consolidations, and that's really what you want to see. That's really what you want to see. No big consolidations, just some minor intra-wave corrections, and then continued downside price action. So, even within the time frame of this stream, we should see another move down, just consistent with this trend. If we were to take a trend line, down, we should just see, okay, testing the trend line and then rejecting, testing the trend line, rejecting, testing the trend line, rejecting, right? That's the definition of a trend. That's the definition of an impulse. You just keep going, even if you do intra-wave corrections. There's nothing to save you, even though the price is going to fight back, because as we know, nothing goes in a straight line. So yeah, already today in 4 hours, we've undone about 10 days worth of positive price action, right? Like, obviously it's been sideways, but we're basically breaking a channel down. We're basically breaking down from a 10-day channel, right? That's what's going on here. Obviously, if we're completely wrong, we're wicking below and then moving back up. But, based off of everything I just said, I don't see that happening necessarily, okay? So that's the DXY. This is one read on the markets, right? Using the DXY as the inverse correlate. Now, let's have a quick glance at Bitcoin, which did some interesting things, okay? So on the daily time frame, I just want a quick kind of overview of the daily time frame price action. You've been stuck in this range for 120 days now, okay? And this range is important to hold, okay? 125 days, yeah? This, as we've been reading it on this channel, as a consolidation reversal channel, is important for Bitcoin to break up from here. Were it to break down from here, you go much, 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 much lower, okay? But on all of our high time frame reads, weekly, monthly, it's more likely than not for us to break up and not down from here. Also, you get these rounded bottoms here that you've been maintaining for quite a while, okay? And obviously, you have your 2 degrees of baby basing, all that stuff, right? Even if this was something to break down from, no, let's not go there. Yeah, so 2 degrees of baby basing, our rounded bottom, the macro outlook, all that stuff. obviously the DXY, it's likely that we break up. Okay, tough to read though because it's corrective price action, so it's a lot of chop. But on the high time frames, nothing's really changed. We've held this support region for quite some time, and this should be from where we launch. Okay, and in the thumbnail of this live stream, I pointed to this particular candle right here on the 4-hourly time frame, I think. Yeah, and I said, is this finally our the bulls going in, taking control? Is this finally the bulls taking control? How would we know? Okay, a few ways. Okay, a few ways. Firstly, you can try and read this price action. Okay, and one way to read this price action is to try to see, okay, what's happened since this, right? This is obviously a corrective move to the upside. That is impulsive. You know it's impulsive because it goes in 5 waves. If you go on a smaller time frames, you see it's 5 waves. And then you can see that your subsequent retracement is in 3 waves. Okay? So you have 5 waves up and a subsequent retracement of 3 waves down. Okay? So it's corrective, but this is impulsive. It's basically a zigzag. That's what I'm trying to say. It's impulsive, but in the context of a corrective move. And if you pull your Fibonacci retracement level, you can see that these 3 waves has thus far just barely respected your 0.618. So you're still expecting a 535. 5 waves up, 3 waves side, 5 waves up. Okay, you're still expecting a zigzag. Okay, so I pose the question, is this the candle that takes us there? Okay, what do we want to see if it's impulsive? You want to see volume. Okay, if you're using indicators, you saw volume in this impulsive move, right? You're seeing volume. You haven't seen the last of it, but you're seeing volume already in the first bit, right? On the 4-hourly time frame, you're already seeing volume in this move. And you should see more as it breaks this resistance to the upside. Okay, so that's what my volume indicator is showing me, and it's important to look at volume because it's one of the few primary indicators. It's not a derivative indicator. It's usually other indicators use volume, right? So you want to see volume. We are seeing some volume start to kick in. We're seeing straight lines. We're not seeing kind of like choppy move to the upside. Sometimes that's how impulses start, but one of the characteristics of impulses in Elliott wave theory is that they're unmistakably impulsive, right? They just look strong. That looks strong, and this is starting to look strong. So this is why, one of the reasons I posed the question, okay? Right, first the relationship between this and that retracement, so this impulse to the upside and that retracement, and then secondly, your relation, or sorry, we already talked about that. Just the nature of this. So yeah, now going on to our other indicator that we like to use on the channel, our momentum indicator. We're showing a strong bullish cross on the 4-hourly time frame with strong bullish divergence. Okay, confirmed. So however you want to cut it, what's likely to happen, okay, does not 100%, but what's likely to happen is that this bullish divergence on the 4-hourly time frame play out. Okay, look at this, a lower low on price action right here and a higher high on the momentum indicator. You're likely to play that out. Okay, so that's the 4-hourly time frame. Let's move on to the daily time frame. Okay, let's get rid of those. That was demonstrated. Let's move on to the daily time frame. We also see potential bullish divergence. No, there's no divergence. It's not divergent. On the weekly time frame, is it still there? Yeah, the weekly time frame bullish divergence is still there. Okay, but we're looking at the smaller time frames. Definitely some bullish divergence on the 4-hourly time frame that played out. You're playing out at present. You're currently playing out the bullish divergence on the hourly time frame. Do you see that right here? So you're currently playing this out right here. So the question is this going to lead to more bullish price action, right? More of a move to the upside than what we've already gotten? That's the question. If this is indeed an impulsive move that is going to initiate the bull run, in earnest, then this impulse is going to be much, much larger. Much, much larger before any inkling of any sort of correction. Okay? So that's the hourly time frame. So the hourly time frame and the 4-hourly time frame are showing us confirmed strong bullish divergence. Okay? That's being played out. The volume indicator is showing volume on this move. So volume's increasing as, okay, volume is such a strong indicator, and people don't use it because they use derivatives thereof, thinking, because it has more bells and whistles, it's more potent. It's not necessarily the case. If you learn to use volume, like, you don't need more than half of the indicators that you see on the market. Do you see how this move is going up and volume is following it? That is volume confirmed. If you are looking for an impulsive move or a move that the market is backing, that buyers and sellers are backing, you see volume convergence. Let me give you an example of volume divergence. Let's go on the weekly time frame. So a lot of people who don't really know much about volume say, yeah, Bitcoin is not looking good because look, where's the volume? Look, we had volume when we were going up, and then all of a sudden when we started correcting down, the volume left. What does that tell you? That doesn't tell you that Bitcoin's weak. It tells you actually that it's quite strong to the upside, because as the price corrects to the downside, the volume diverges with that, meaning there are fewer and fewer people selling. As the price goes lower, there are fewer sellers. That's all that's telling you. As the price goes lower, there are fewer sellers. That's bullish. Again, learn to read volume. It's not that complicated, and it works wonders. It's very, very, very helpful. You can see the same thing, and if you go down the altcoins, just look at this. For instance, I was looking at this morning. This may be one that I'm looking to get into, but a great example of volume divergence is here. The price goes down into this, 3-wave move, 1, 2, 3, right? 3-wave correction, this bear market for Harmony 1. And what does volume do? It just dumps. In the same way, the lower it goes, the fewer people want to sell. That's really, really, really bullish. The lower it goes, the fewer people want to sell. And actually, when it starts going up here, people start stepping in. That's bullish. It's bullish because it corroborates the idea that people are participating in this and not that. More people are participating in this than that. That's all that says. Okay. So that was Bitcoin. Back to Bitcoin. That was Bitcoin on the higher time frame and the lower time frame. That's what we're kind of looking at. That's what we're expecting. That's what the indicators are telling us. That was the DXY. Let's have a quick peek at the SPX. SPX. Actually, let's open up another window for the SPX. All right. Here we go. Miscellaneous SPX. Okay. This is another bullish sign. Okay. Not to say that Bitcoin and traditional stocks, move Bitcoin, like none of that rubbish. This is simply bullish because it's showing you the effect of the DXY's price action vis-a-vis risk on assets like the S&P. Okay? And as you can see, since October 13th, when I called, the beginning of positive price action in Bitcoin where we're going to make higher highs, basically you can call that the bull market, right? Higher highs and higher lows. You can see we put that impulse in 5 waves to the upside, 3 waves to the downside. Okay, that's wave 1, wave 2. And what you can see is after that, you got 5 waves to the upside once more, 3 waves to the downside, and you're continuing the trend. This is really, really bullish. Okay, this is a 1-2-1-2 situation that you're seeing in the SPX. What does that mean? That means 5 waves up, 3 waves down, 5 waves up, 3 waves down. Okay, how do you know it's 5 waves up, 3 waves down, 5 waves up, 3 waves down, and it's impulsive? Okay, that's a good question. You're going to use the principle or the guideline of proportionality, where waves of the same degree are proportional, or they're more or less equal in time and in price. They're proportional in time and in price. I like proportional better. Okay, and why that is that it's not always 1-to-1. Okay, what you'll see is if you take a Fibonacci retracement tool from the bottom to the top of this wave, you can see that the retracement is proportionally appropriate. It comes down to the 0.618, your phi ratio. Okay, you can also see that the time it takes for your 5 waves up is also the time it takes for your 5 waves down, or for your 3 waves down. Did I do that right? I didn't do that right. One sec. Wait, what did I do? Oh, okay. This doesn't work with, I'm sorry. I was like, what's going on? It doesn't work with traditional markets as well because it's because of all those gaps. Okay, but you can just count it. You can just count it, and you can try and just look at it graphically. Because the market closes, it's harder to do these comparisons just by measuring. But you can see it's comparable in time, right? Time it takes to go up is approximately the time it takes to come down. Okay. Once again, and you could just eyeball that. If you look at this second wave, this second wave up and second wave down, the time it takes to go up, let's say about here, it's approximately the time it takes to come down. Okay, this is approximate. Okay, so this is a legitimate 1-2-1-2. You're going into wave 3 of this intermediate degree. If this is principal, this is your intermediate, right? So that's looking really nice and bullish. The only way this can be bullish is if our DXY is bearish. And so that's actually one of the only reasons I'm looking at the SPX. I don't have any exposure whatsoever to traditional stocks, but, it's just another indicator for me, okay? Just another indicator for me. So this there's kind of like, this helps corroborate our entire read on the markets, right? When you're looking at this right here, let's put our parallel channel right here. When you're looking at this parallel channel that we've been in for 10 days, like, it looks bearish. It looks bearish in that you did whatever you did here, and you broke the channel, and right now you're retesting the bottom to continue, which is, obviously what we believe is going on, and that would indicate a move up in the SPX, a move up in crypto. Okay, so this is looking good. Like I said, if this is a legitimate downtrend, what we should see is continued downward price action in that way. Retest of that resistance, right? Support to flip to resistance, and then the big move. Okay, so now let's go back to our crypto watch list, and let's just go through some altcoins. All right, let's jump down the time frame. Let's go on the hourly time frame. Okay. So on the hourly time frame, as we said, Bitcoin's looking quite bullish, making this these nice higher highs and higher lows. Okay, Cardano. Again, we have both our volume and our stochastic RSI indicators on. What's volume telling you? Volume telling you is that this move is supported by buyers. People are buying this move up. They're not fading this move. Okay? And if you think, well, that's just incidental green volume candles, it's much ado about nothing. Look historically. When's the last time you got volume like this? Just look, have a look, prove it to yourselves. Okay? The last time you got some volume to the upside was in September, okay, when you went up a bit. And then time after that was earlier this month, right, when you went up a bit. So this move right here, you got volume. Here you got volume. And then now you're getting volume here. What does that tell you? That tells you that this market, this chart, is favoring volumetrically moves to the upside. That means that the trend, the general trend, the larger high time frame trend is up. Okay? You prove it to yourself. You go on the high time frame right here, on the weekly time frame for Cardano. Oops. And that the volume is basically telling you that this is where the price is going. This is what it's retraced to, and this is what it wants to do. It wants to resume this trend. Here's the gobs of volume that are supporting that move. The receding volume as price recedes. Volume wants to go up. Every single time the price goes up even a little bit, volume supports it. Okay. So, yeah, it's looking good. Let's go back to the small time frames. This, just like Bitcoin, may very well be the move taking us up and out of this downtrend. Okay? And one of the things I like the most about this is just reading this as a simple A-B base. It's like, initial wave break of structure targeting wave 4 of the previous trend, a 3-wave move to the downside, and then once you get here, you get another degree of A-B basing. You zoom in to your 15-minute time frame to see that more detail. And it's something like this. Okay, so A, and that composed B wave, a pivot, and a move up. Okay, it's not 100%. I'm reading corrective waves. Large margin of error, as you guys all know if you follow the channel, but that's my best read on that price action right there. Okay, so that's Cardano. Again, as usual, if there's anything you want me to look at, tell me now and I'll add it to the watch list. Young Dasa says, do Zcash. He's always good, or he or she, I think, is always good for Zcash. Zcash enthusiast. That's the only one he ever asks for. Zcash. What am I doing? ZEC, right? ZEC. I believe it's ZEC. Or I could just do Zcash. Let's do this one. Okay. All right, let's go down. Let's keep going. Dot. Okay, this, again, kind of like nothing's really changed since yesterday from this read on DOT, because it's held its support quite well, right? That's your initial break of structure, targeting wave 4 of the previous trend. This is your 3-wave move, right? And you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 waves here, okay? And that big B wave, and then you zoom in here to see your second degree of AB basing. Okay, so just zoom in right there. And you can see that here you got, so this is the end of the trend, the 5 waves down. You can see that by the capitulative volume candle right there. This is your A wave. You see an A, B, C, a B wave that is counter to that. And then another A wave up, another B wave, pivot, should be it, okay? Volume says we're good. Volume says we're good. Okay, so this is Polkadot. Ethereum, I mean, this is really, really pouring it on with the volume. You see that? Like, that, if anybody is kind of wondering where the larger trend is or where price really wants to go, just look at the volume indicator. It's one of the strongest indicators showing you exactly what the market wants to do, where the market is tending or trending towards. Look at all of that interrupted high-level volume. If you can say, well, you know, it might be wanting to break down. If that were the case, you would have seen high red candles to the downside. You don't see that here, okay? On the 15-minute time frame, this is a small time frame. So you could say, well, obviously you don't see that because this is a small time frame. No. If it was going to go down, you should see an interrupted number of red volume candles to the downside. You don't see that. This looks like a really strong move up, okay? So I anticipate that this continue in Ethereum. So far, so good. Let's have a quick check back into the DXY. Okay, it still seems to be at that level. Okay. Do expect it to reject around here. Right, this is the new resistance because it broke down, reject. Okay, so that's what we expect. We'll see. We'll see. Okay, back to our. So Young Dasa says Zcash is a hidden gem. You should consider investing in it. It's literally opposite of Bitcoin. It's invisible. Same amount of 21 million coins. It's gonna go crazy this bull run. NB says Maker. I think who's it? No, it's Dash. I'm thinking of Forrest Prisvilla, the guy who used to work for that altcoin company. I think he's big on Zcash. This analyst Forrest, or is it Dash that he's big on? I don't remember. It's one of those. But yeah, I'm sure Zcash is solid. I'm sure. I mean, there's just so many projects I can invest in. You know, I go with kind of a short list because I don't want to overexpose myself. Put a little bit in everything. I just put a decent amount in everything. I'd say, I want 4 to 5 figures in everything that I invest in minimum. Let's add Maker. Maker. Trader Joe. Is that still a thing? Maker, Poloniex. Let's add the Poloniex one. Okay. All right. So let's keep going. Reserve rights. Let's zoom out a bit and go on the hourly. Reserve rights. We've been in this for a couple weeks now. Where's my pen? Here it is. Okay. That is my initial break of structure, targeting wave 4 of the previous trend. This is my massive B wave. Okay, ending right here. My volume is showing me exactly where that ends. You see that? Volume is underused indicator. You know, it's not hard to use either. It's much easier to use than like some of these other indicators, but it's so powerful when you really understand what it's telling you. This is your A wave targeting wave 4 of the previous trend. This is the second degree of AB basing. 1, 2, 3, right? Boom. And this is it. That's your pivot, and you're off to the races. It's looking good. Things are looking good. If that read is correct, things are looking good. That's 2 degrees of AB basing. And the DXY is falling. That's looking good. Synthetics, I already talked about this yesterday. I talked about all these yesterday, but I noticed sort of a correction upwards. So that's your zigzag. So a big A and a big B. This 3-wave move here, and this third leg of the zigzag is a small A, and then this is a small B. So you go from a zigzag to a flat because this is at least a 786. We can prove that. If you take your Fibonacci retracement tool from the bottom here, and you pull it to the top, or are we pulling? Oh no, maybe it's here. Oops. I'm not exactly sure how to pull this. Let's see, 1, 2. Or is it here? Okay, I think it's here. I think that is a wicked wave 4 right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. So yeah, you just touched the 786 right here. So with the small a, small b right here. 1, 2, 3. Boom. So things are looking good. 2 degrees of AB basing, and you're and a pivot, and you're off to the races. You're off to the races. I think the pivot's in here. Sorry. Yeah, the AB basing's right here. Okay. VRA. VRA got started. Looks like it's about to go again. VRA put out some pretty strong bullish news about VRA partnering with Amazon. So that, I think, that helped with this corrective move being a zigzag instead of a flat correction. That's how I think fundamentals work within technicals. It's not that they're completely ignored, but they work within the realm of technical feasibility, if that makes sense. So you're going to put in a corrective wave. If there's bullish news instead of a flat correction that retraces to the 1, 2, 3, 6, you're probably going to put in a zigzag that retraces only to the 0.5618. That's what I think has happened. So that Amazon news probably helped with that being your small a, small b situation before your, or maybe this is your pivot. I don't even know. But all you can see is it's quite clear. You have a bullish move up. Okay. I think the top of it is like right there. If you go on the smaller time frame, you can see that. I've measured it. That's why I'm like, I know where it is more or less. And then you got your 3-wave move. Obviously, it takes much longer than it took these 5 waves, so you know that this is corrective. But what you can see is you're definitely putting in some sort of bullish reversal, right? Expect that to continue. I actually bought more VRA down here. So yeah, VRA is looking great. Look at that. Nice. And we already saw the volume. So that is perfect. Zilica. This screams a flat correction, right? On the hourly time frame, you see 3 waves up. It's 3 waves down. If you go on a smaller time frames, you can see the 3-wave move here, and that's the impulse of the 3-wave move. And then once you get down here, you start your AB basing. Okay, and then you're popping out of that corrective move. Once again, once you go up, your volume likes it. The volume goes up. That means it's a volume. It is volume convergent. Okay, Vervain, as usual, we're going to skip. Cadena, same thing. This is a clear 3-wave move. This is a clear 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right? Let's see that again. Yeah. 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 And then your AB basing goes here. And your AB basing in Cadena, as per usual, is in the form of zigzags. But everything's looking really bullish. Everything's looking really bullish. Expect volume to come in even more on this asset, I think. Just look. The bullish character here is you're making V-shaped recoveries. Like, you're pushed down, and what happens is once you get to these liquidity zones, you're running back up. That's super bullish, right? You're pushed down, you're grabbing liquidity, and you're making bullish moves, meaning you're making higher highs. So there was some sort of resistance here. You broke that, you retested it, and you're going up. So it's really bullish in character, just the way the price action is moving outside of any context of what we're reading and AB bases and all that stuff. Once again, your volume indicator is showing you that this is the move that the market wants to play. Okay, those green candles right next to the red candles, which ones are bigger? That's telling you a lot. You have moves. It's a V-shaped move. Literally, the red is the same magnitude as the green. But look at the volume. The volume of the green is significantly larger than the red. This tells you where the market wants to go. It doesn't tell you what price, though, but it's just another indicator. It's another piece of the puzzle when you're trying to figure this out. Okay, Dogecoin, same thing here. You're putting in these, let's see. This is clearly a zigzag situation, yeah? This is like your A wave, this is your B wave, this is your A wave, this is your B wave, this is your AB base going up. Okay, but this is a zigzag, 5 waves, just like in Bitcoin, and then you're kind of respecting the 0618 of this move right here. Dodo, moving and shaking. Okay, I said that yesterday. This was a 5-wave move up. It can't be a 5-wave move up because this retracement has already broken the 0618. This has got to be in 3 waves. Not always easy to read these corrective waves, but you pull your Fibonacci retracement tool and you see where did the 3 waves hit. Whoops. Okay, I didn't mean to do that. Let's try that again. So your 3 waves hit the minimum retracement for a flat correction, which is the 786. These fundamentals are very, very profitable. They're not profitable in and of themselves, but they help so much reading the markets. I don't know how people read the markets otherwise, to be honest. Right? That looks like a 3-wave move, and that looks like a 3-wave move down. Okay? and then you eventually tag the 786, which is a minimum flat correction retracement. That's what you get in Dodo. So that's good to go. And one thing I'll mention is we're not yet seeing volume on this time frame. So this is something that I expect to come in for Dodo to back this positive price action. There's, relatively very little volume in this project. And I guess you can expect that in these projects that are very low market cap, relatively low market cap. Okay. XRP. This is a big one. Big AB base. B. And then you have your second degree right here. A, B, and then your impulse. It's just reading AB bases. It's not super easy, but it's possible. I'm going to skip Algo in 1 unless somebody absolutely wants me to do it. The only reason I have these is because I'm thinking of adding some money left over into them. As the price goes up, I'm going to take out of my margin because I have protective margin in some positions like Bitcoin and stuff like that, just to make sure that I don't get stopped out. Once the price goes to a certain level, I'm going to put stops in profit and I can take out some margin, and I'm planning on where to put that margin. So that's why I have these on the watch list. But let's just look at Zcash and Maker. Zcash looks great, by the way. Young Dasa, Zcash looks great. Looks great. Okay, so yeah, basically what you're seeing in Zcash is very simply, you saw 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, that's a 5-wave move, right? You see that A wave coming towards the wave 4 of the previous trend. You see a big B wave, okay? And again, these B waves, they always have to be within the norms of a B wave, which is between 786 and 1618. So not anything can just be a B wave. I just want to reiterate that. You have to be sure that the B wave fits within the boundaries of where B waves can be. If it's beyond the 1618, it's no longer a B wave. You've misread, and it's just a continuation of that trend. Does that make sense? So this is the initial break of structure, targeting wave 4 of the previous trend. This is a 3-wave counter. This is counter to that. So this is big A, big B, and as I'm saying, you want to see that hit before the 1618. Okay, if you pull the Fibonacci retracement, can't go beyond the 1618. Okay, now you start counting your second degree right here. Let's jump down into the hourly. Okay, and let's get off of this. Okay, so I'm counting the second degree, and it's quite clear here. 1, 2, 3. That's my second degree A wave, and then my second degree B wave is something like this. And then this is my pivot. And this is my move. And I do want to see volume come up to kind of corroborate this move, but it looks really good for continuation. Okay. Maker. Oh man, not one of these. Okay. I guess maybe let's try a larger time frame. I don't know why certain assets produce these types of charts, low data charts. And I know Maker is a very, established. It's a very established asset. It's been around. So I don't know why it's so low data. Let's try to pull another chart. I think this is the one we have, right? No. This is not the one we have. Let's try this one. Okay, this is better. It's much better. Let's go 4. Again, just notice what your volume indicator is showing you. Every single time there's a volume spike in this region of the chart, right? And we're just going back to May right here. So May of this year, right? Where most assets started their consolidation reversal. What do you see? Your chart is telling you that this is where the next trend is being established. You know, people who think that we're going to go down for months and months and months more, I don't know what they're reading, you know. Obviously, I, on this channel, really put emphasis on price action, but if you're using indicators, especially like primary indicators like volume, and I wouldn't say stochastic RSI is a primary indicator, but volume, like how do you not see that? Like that is where the price wants to go. And that initial break of structure means something. It's drastic. It's really strong. You know, breaking the downtrend, targeting wave 4 of the previous trend, and then you go on and you put in 160 days of consolidation reversal. Yeah, and just like any other asset, you read it the same. You got your big A wave, got your counter, your big B. This is your secondary A wave. Sorry. This is your secondary A wave right here. And then this, all this junk is your secondary B wave. Okay. So, and I think from here on, from September 21st, either you started a bull run. Yeah, it looks like it. Maker started its bull run. It's one of those few assets that started to run in September, late September. That to me is the start of the Maker bull run, September 21st. Okay. And if I measure this, just like let's zoom in. Let's go on the hourly. Let's see. You know, bull run, like impulsive price action, while we say it's easy to read, relatively speaking, when it's really just impulsive, it looks like trash, but in a particular direction. Like just like this. Like goes up and down, but up and to the right. Right? But I think the easiest thing to do is just, you know, you pull your Fibonacci retracement levels and see what the corrections are telling you. And you've touched the 382. Okay, you hit this high and you retrace down to the 382. That tells me you can continue. Okay, that's a minimum retracement for wave 2, as you all know, right? So if that's wave 1, this is 3-wave retracement. You basically retrace the minimum and then you can keep going. And so what we can do, as per usual, just to get our bearings, is to see if that is a valid retracement for this move that took 18 days. 18 days up. Yeah, 4 days down. Nah, that's not it. Okay. I wouldn't be surprised. Okay, two things. This could either be an intrawave correction, meaning, all right, that's just kind of like intrawave, right? It's just a correction within the movement, and so this just is going to keep going, and then eventually it's going to reach its terminus. Then you can see that 382 to 618 retrace, but at no time soon. That's one way, okay? Or this may have been it, and you're putting in that retracement, and so you're intending to come down a little longer. Those are the two things I'm saying that are possible, or likely rather, with Maker right now on the small time frame. But large time frame, it looks really good. It looks like you've already entered your bullish price action. And if you zoom back out, let's zoom back out on the daily. I don't know what's going on with the volume, to be honest. Is that unique to this chart? Or why is the volume all of a sudden disappeared in 2022? I have no idea. The Poloniex chart, same. There's no volume since the beginning of 2022. So I don't know why that is. There may be a fundamental reason why that is. I have no idea. So I can't really read for volume, unfortunately, there. But high time frame, it looks really good for reversal. You're double bottoming, and your momentum indicator is, let's go on the weekly. Yeah, you're bullishly divergent on the weekly time frame. You made a lower low here, and you're pretty much even there. Okay, so it's a bullish divergence on the weekly time frame. Like, that's the last thing you want to fade if you're trading this. Like, you obviously want to play that divergence out. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with the volume, but I'll say that I wouldn't be surprised if this came down just a little more right here and then continued. That's all. Okay. MB says Monero, Zcash, and Dash Litecoins in that privacy group since Mimblewimble. Out of those privacy coins, Zcash is top tier. Young Dasa says DXY wants to crash so bad. Let's look at the DXY. Alright, is it finding resistance where we thought it should? Let's clean this up. Yeah, okay. Well, that's a good sign. Okay, this is a good sign for continuation of our cryptos to the upside and the SPX, because we are finding resistance, and I count 1, 2, 3 waves. Obviously, you can complete this. You can kind of go up a little and wick into this range, into this range before pivoting back down. But it's a good sign. It's a good sign. And another thing it's a good sign is that you're topped out on your momentum indicator, at least on the 15-minute time frame. The hourly, you're bottomed out, but it's fine. For hourly, looks good. Cross bearish. Daily, you're about to cross bearish. Weekly, cross bearish over bot, and monthly, we all know cross bearish over bot has been so for quite some time. Yeah, so the DXY is looking good, but goodness, it's tricky. MB, do you want me to look at Monero and Dash? Let's see. Yeah, things are looking all right. It's just, it's disconcerting. We've played around this area for so long. It's not really satisfying for us to just be in this region. You really want to see a break above this region. And then once we get to this region, this resistance, we want to see some continuation. We want to see some continuation. We want to see, actually, this is what we want to see. A break, retest, and then continuation. We do not want to see a rejection, consolidation up here at this level, right? We don't want to see that. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I am confident that eventually, in the coming hours, we should see that move on Bitcoin, right? Up, retest, continuation, forming this W finally. And then we should see it throughout the rest of the market. Has anything run yet? Not that I know of. Nothing in the watch list is really broken through. Let's go to the larger general list. Okay, Chili's. Okay, Chili's is looking good. Chili's is looking really good. Strong bullish divergence on the daily time frame, and it's playing out. Chili's is leading the pack by far. EOS. Yeah, I mean, it's looking good. It's just, we've hung out around here for so long. People are tired, and it's understandable. People are tired. People are not very confident in the market. But soon, very soon. All right, so guys, if there's nothing else, we'll call it a stream. Thanks for joining as always. Have a great rest of your Friday. Let's, see that DXY crash finally. All right, and yeah, I'll see you tomorrow with a quick recorded video, and then again Sunday with a live stream at the open of the DXY at around 6. Yeah. All right, take care.